So we're at the Grand River Conservation Area where the authority, where the coalition against the Waterloo Region Coalition Against Line 9 presented to the GRCA. So what happened today, Adam?
Well, Dan got up there, just laid it all out, 10 minutes, and, actually, it was pretty positive. A couple of the councillors really actually tried to push the GRCA on being like, what have we actually done to look into this issue? Because Enbridge has been here before, and Enbridge sort of threw down their sort of generic spiel about, this project's happening, sort of just so you know. But the GRCA didn't ask them any pointed questions. Anything that they asked was sort of more technical about, specific valves or that kind of thing, rather than about what are you shipping through this pipeline? What are the dangers? What are the risks? What are the concerns? And so I think the staff of the GRCA got a little bit pushed on that point today. And I don't recall the guy's name, but sort of mentioned, Enbridge.
Rob Deutschman.
No,
The councillor?
I'm talking about the staff guy.
Right.
A staff
Rob
representative,
something.
anyway.
No, Joe. Farwell? Joe. Anyway.
No, it's the other guy. Anyway, the staff
Oh, right,
guy,
that guy.
got
They're
up
all
and said,
dinosaurs.
it was really great. Enbridge did an exercise on Wednesday. We knew about that. And so, it's really important that we're looking into what happens when the spill happens. And then Councillor Dorchman and a couple other people asked, well, it's like, okay, that's fine that, we're looking at the after effects, but what about the issues before it spills? What have you actually done to look at the integrity of the pipeline, the safety features, all that kind of thing? And they didn't really have an answer at all.
Yeah. He said, I cannot answer that question right now.
Yeah, which means all it means is they haven't done their homework, they haven't done their background check. It means initially they just sort of took Enbridge at their word and, carried on, right? So it's obviously important that we're bringing this up now. So it's going to go back to staff, and hopefully they actually look into it and, see the age of the pipeline, see the issues related to tar sands bitumen, and basically putting a product through a pipeline that's not supposed to go through this pipeline, and that this pipeline wasn't designed for. So
Yeah, and I think staff was saying that they would look at that statement of concern that was presented by the coalition.
yeah, there was. I think what we found is there's a little bit of hesitancy in really looking at our declaration. I think because there's perhaps language or issues in there that are either outside of the mandate or whatever that both the region and the GRCA don't necessarily want to look at. But yeah, there was some positive suggestion of perhaps pushing or moving forward anyway with a statement of concern to at least have that on the record, as the GRCA is the body that's supposed to be looking at the health, the maintenance, the continuation of existence of the Grand River. And the fact that they haven't really looked into the issues related to the pipeline spilling, but have only really looked into the after effects is sort of flagrant disregard for what they should be doing, and is in fact just dangerous. It's dangerous and irresponsible for everyone who lives in this region and the natural ecosystems that exist around here.
Right. I mean, their job is to conserve the Grand River area, conservation area, and oftentimes I think what happens with all these different bodies, governmental bodies, is it's like, oh, that's not our jurisdiction, National Energy Board stuff, that's federal jurisdiction. This pipeline runs across the Grand River that we're supposed to, protect, but it's not our jurisdiction, so we can't really do anything about it. And yet, it does become a municipal issue when we're talking about the water supply, right? The Grand River water supply.
Well, and if there's a spill that happens, it's municipal response services that are going to bear the brunt of that. And as a result, it's communities and those services that are going to bear the brunt of costs, right? So
it sounds like a bunch of excuses, really, to not take serious action, to take strong stances on protecting the land.
Yeah, they can, they're going to pass the buck all they want. But when it really comes down to it, they're going to be on the hook if a spill happens. And they're the body that's going to have to keep dealing with it,
3 years down the line, if they're still cleaning it up, right?
Exactly.
Diluted
and that's what
bitumen
happened in
sinks.
Michigan. They're the ones who are going to have to be coordinating the dredging of the Grand River, which is a monumentous task. Right? So, jurisdiction aside, that doesn't mean they can't issue comment or that they could even have sought intervener status in the NEB hearings, right? As the GRCA, they have a particular stake in this issue. But if it's sort of my feelings up until this point, they haven't chose to act on that at all. they are only maybe considering doing something now that they've had a little bit of a push from us and from other people who are interested in this issue and like concerned about the detrimental impacts that are going to happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that happens for lots of municipal bodies, right? I mean, the easy way out is to do nothing. So hopefully in this case,
It really
they
is. Yeah, it was
try.
hard to feel like I definitely got this feeling that there's like 20 people on that board, and they didn't really seem engaged, as if the whole body is kind of a rubber stamp, not really asking serious questions
Yeah.
about
And
protecting
because
the
they don't
land.
have to, they can choose not to. They can make that choice, and that's Steve's choice. And hopefully they'll make a choice that's not so easy and actually do something about it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Adam.